welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. LeBron James looks old as dust. Last night against OKC, get this guy a diaper, a pacifier. This guy's a baby. He spent all game crying like a big freaking baby at 40 years old. 40 years old, crying like a little baby up and down the court. So you're trying to tell me you're not allowed to play defense in the NBA? LeBron, just because you don't play defense, that don't mean everybody else don't want to play defense. So he literally cries when guys are playing defense on him. You can't make this up. And he has to get a foul every single time a guy literally play defense on him. If he goes up for a shot, it has to be a foul. Whether he's barreling down the basket or he's just trying to post up and going into the lane, it has to be a foul. This guy can't miss a shot or it's a foul. I've never seen nothing like it. And this is my prediction. And I kind of said this before. And these guys are going to tire out. AD 15 points. Let me expand this real quick. 15 points, 4 turnovers. He did have 12 rebounds. Played the most minutes. 5 for 9 from the field. I mean, he wasn't that bad. He just, I don't know. I don't know how he's taken less shots than LeBron James. He took 9 shots. LeBron took, I think he took 13, which isn't a lot. 34 minutes, 0 for 4 from 3. He was 2 for 2 from the line, but he didn't go to the line too many times. No offensive rebounds. And it's almost like you can't even beat up on guys for not having offensive rebounds in this era. There's nobody inside to get those rebounds. There might be a center inside, but the majority of the time he takes off down the court. The only time he's really trying to get an offensive rebound is like, in a crucial end of the fourth quarter, crucial end of the game. Something that the game has to be tight. Other than that, these guys ain't put forth no effort to get no offensive rebounds. You don't even see LeBron James on the foul line trying to get a rebound off a missed free throw. You don't even see that. This guy is 6'9", the biggest guy on the court, and he's in a backcourt like he's a guard when guys are shooting free throws. This is crazy, man. 6 assists, 8 rebounds, 5 turnovers. I mean, look, I thought I saw that this guy had, like, this season 3.5 turnovers per game. No, he done got up to 4. Okay, because last time I checked his stats, he was like 3.2 or something. I'm like, how in the hell can he be 3.2 and 3.4? And this guy's like having 7, 6, 5 on the regular, 4 at the least. He's always having like 4 turnovers or more. So I'm like, so yeah, he did get up to 4 turnovers per game this season. He's come down a little bit on his free throw shooting at 75. He's come down on his 3-point shooting at 38. And his field goal percentage has went down under 50% in these 19 games. He's not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it. And if he keeps playing like this, well, if he keeps playing, period, for his career, he's at 27.1 points per game. That's gonna drop down to 26. It was something else. This guy averages 1.8 fouls per game. As the biggest dude on the court the past 10 years is crazy. Or more, 15 years. Yeah, so this is my prediction that the Lakers, well, not the Lakers, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, they're going to run out of steam. And basically, they're just playing for money. Or LeBron is at this point. He's been doing this for a long time. It looks like they're out of the cup. They're like on a mercy type of thing. They don't play any more games in the cup because for some reason they jumped out and played more games than everybody else. So I think they already played 4 games or something like that. So the next cup game is on the Tuesday. I still don't know how this whole thing works. I think they say Atlanta clinched a spot in the quarterfinals, beating the Cavaliers. What a joke. I say what a joke, man. Hopefully Boston can win that and make it about something, because if not, this whole thing is a joke, man. We already know last year, with the Lakers winning the cup, it was a joke. They basically played nobody. Now you got the Cavs got eliminated by the Cavs, and I just don't understand this whole cup thing. But LeBron spent the whole game crying and complaining. It's like, man, do you think that this guy could ever really play in the 80s and 90s? You think he could be like in that locker room? You think he could be a leader of a team in the 80s and 90s? And this ain't nothing new. This guy been crying since, I don't know, the end when he was in Cleveland last time. No, the first time, and he was crying. He started doing that right before he went to Miami. I just don't see, even at this age right here, they will be clowning him. They will be clowning this guy back in the day. I just don't get it, man. They're not going to really beat any good teams. They're gonna run out of steam, and it's gonna be over. When they don't win this cup, looks like they're not gonna win it. They're just at the mercy of whoever wins or loses right now to get them in. Um, if they don't even make the playoff bracket, and if they don't win the cup at all, I think LeBron, he'll fake an injury, and the season will be over. It'll be over, guys. I think he'll make it until when's his birthday? It's in December, right? Maybe he might play until 40 years old. I don't know, man. It's pretty much over with this guy. There's nothing. There's nothing left with this guy, and he's putting up these phony triple doubles that mean nothing. What they say, he was like a -15 for the season, something like that. It's just, I don't have too much to say about this. It's hard for me to do a video on this guy because it's just so many guys, so many other guys to talk about. This guy is just, he wore out his welcome. Um, we would like to get back to hearing caller analysts not lie. He didn't barrel down the paint yesterday. He just had the ball in the paint. No, I think he got like a rebound, and then he just laid it up. And the caller analyst said, "You can't stop that freight train." It's like, it's just crazy, man. We're talking about a freight train when we're talking about basketball. We're not talking about football. We're talking about basketball. And he's down to 22 points per game, shooting under 50% this season. And all this stuff is normal. All this stuff it's not abnormal. When you get older, guess what? All your stats are going to fall off. That's normal. The only reason why he has these stats right here at that age, because it's a soft, weak era. The 2020s has been an embarrassment to basketball. And sorry, Luca fans, sorry, Joker fans, sorry, SGA fans, and all these fans of the 2020s. It's an embarrassment to basketball. It's weak, it's soft, and you know, Joker. You can't blame them. Joker and Luca's doing what they're supposed to do. They've been dominating, and we'll see what Anthony Edwards. I mean, not Anthony. We'll talk about him in a minute. I'm talking about AD. We'll see what happens with him. I just don't think he's going to make it, man. These guys went to the Olympics, and they did all that they did. Yeah, AD's down to 20 points per game. He was he was over 30 for a long time. He's still having a really good season, but I don't know if he's going to make it, man. I just don't know if he's going to make it. These guys are they don't hit the weight room. They don't practice. They're just out there playing a pickup game. They're playing off of athleticism and skills. That's it. These guys don't practice, man. And you can tell by the way they play ball. There's no real leadership. There's nobody out there leading the team. There's no leaders. What it is. This is what we're supposed to do. That's the leadership, right? Hey, this is what we're supposed to do. These are the tests we're supposed to run. This is what we're supposed to do. That's all it is. It's not real leadership. They might be in practice and they say, these are the things that we're going to do during the game. That's it. But there's no real leadership. They don't look at LeBron as the leader. They look at LeBron James as the face of the team. They look at LeBron James as the guy that's supposed to get the most shots. They don't look at LeBron James like, I got to hit these buckets. I got to play this defense. I got to, do this and do that because this is what LeBron James is doing. LeBron is holding himself to the standard of doing certain things to win. So I got to do it too as a teammate. And these are the things that Michael Jordan, the foundation he laid out, and other great players who were leaders of their team. You're going to play defense. You're going to practice. You're going to, do this. You're going to do that because I do it. But you don't have that with LeBron James. It's just, I'm the star. I'm going to take the most shots. You guys play defense. It's just weird, man. If you can, the guy looks tired. He looks old. Him and Michael Jordan at the same age, it's just, Michael Jordan looked like he was full of life. Whether it was his aura, his the way he took care of himself. This guy looks tired, man. How much fake hair and hair dye can you use, man? How much juice can you drink to stay up? When you see these games and they're this many points, and this guy, the biggest guy on the court, has 0 fouls. And Stephen A. Smith said something the other day talking about that, yes, LeBron is stat padding, and that's because his team isn't playing defense. His team isn't coming through. Oh, goodness, man. And he basically excuses LeBron James from playing defense because of his age. So you're excusing. Let me see this real quick. Let's go back to this season and see what he's averaging. So this guy is averaging 1.1 fouls per game. This would seem impossible, man. When the league is scoring 115 points, it's impossible. And you're the biggest guy on the court, and you're supposed to be a forward, small forward, whatever. How's that possible? So yeah, he blames it on D'Lo. D'Lo is basically a bench player. D'Lo is nothing. He blames it on everybody else but the guy who basically is averaging no fouls a game. If you want to be real. And he doesn't have to play defense. So the biggest guy that's supposed to be in the paint isn't playing defense. So who are the defenders? AD's playing defense. Who else? I see these guys out here playing defense. I see Reeves out here playing defense. Hachimura, I forget his name. Basically everybody's playing defense. The fact is they're not good defenders because this NBA isn't predicated on defense. It's not. JJ Redick knows nothing about defense. All he knows about is cutting down past NBA players. Look, man, this thing is going to be over, man. If they don't win this cup, this whole thing's going to blow up. The Lakers are not going to have anything to play for. It might be like an all-star break type of thing. They might go that far, and LeBron might play in this all-star 8-on-8 tournament, whatever it is, 4-on-4, just to play with his son, because you guys heard what happened, right? G League players are playing in an all-star game. And Bronny James has been the worst G League player in the G League. And if he gets summoned up to play in that all-star game, all hell is going to break loose. Seriously, to have G Leaguers in the all-star game is basically going to be like having WNBA players in the all-star game. Now, we already do in the three-point shooting contest, but I'm just saying playing, period. We don't know why all of a sudden G Leaguers are in there playing. I don't know. I think they're playing some tournament game. It's something ridiculous, man. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they eventually get to play the NBA All-Star. So, look, man, and you already know how the All-Star game works. It works off of popularity. for the most part, don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't know any player who didn't have any skills or had a good year that made the All Star game. That would be ridiculous. I know Michael Jordan did make it, and he only played like 18 games. This is where this is where we try to tell you stop comparing all these guys to Michael Jordan. This is how famous Michael Jordan was. There will never be no 18 games. You only played 18 games and you still made the All Star team. That's crazy. And what was that about? That was really about, not only his popularity, but what he did his rookie season was incredible. Um, so yeah, that's the hunch I get right there that somehow Ronnie James is going to be in that All Star game in the G Leaguers, and we'll see what happens, man. It's going to be it's going to be crazy. So LeBron was a -12. That adds on to more of his minuses for the year. Out of all people, Dalton Connect led the team in scoring, and he really didn't have a good game to me. That was it Dalton Connect? Yeah, that was impactful. Yes, I mean, the man shot 13 threes. Yes, he hit almost 50%, but still, man. I mean, it's just a good thing they got a lot of bad teams in this league. So they're going to get a break because we already talked about the this in season tournament. I think it was like what from the 10th to the 19th. Or was it 19th? Yeah, 10th through the 18th. Basically, 3/4 of all the NBA players get a break. They play no games. Only the teams that made it to the quarterfinals and the semifinals and the quarterfinals are going to be playing. So we'll get back into that later. I don't know what the teams are. There's a lot of teams that already got eliminated. Let me see if I can pull this back up. So the teams that got eliminated: Philly, Brooklyn, Charlotte, Miami, Toronto, the Pacers, um, Chicago, Cleveland. Wow. Washington, Minnesota. Even though Minnesota won last night, let me make sure this is right, man. Yeah. So Minnesota got eliminated. Sacramento, Utah, and New Orleans. Um, I guess these teams already clinched uh, the quarterfinals. Atlanta, out of all teams, Houston, out of all teams, and Golden State. So the teams who are still in it um, and didn't clinch yet, Orlando, they're doing good without Palo. New York, Milwaukee, Detroit, Boston, Portland, the Clippers, the Spurs, OKC. Let me see. Phoenix. Somehow, I, somehow the Lakers are still in it. I think you gotta have. I don't know how they're. Let me see something real quick. I don't know how they're still in it because I see a lot of teams eliminated with 2 losses. But they're still in it. The teams that's in front of them are the Spurs 2-1, OKC 2-1, Phoenix 2-1. Uh, so the last I don't the last regular season tournament game, which when you say this stuff, it sounds so ridiculous. The last regular season tournament game is on Tuesday, and the Lakers they don't play no more. Somehow the Lakers jumped out and played 4 games before anybody else. I don't know how, but they jumped. There's nobody else. Let me see. Yeah, there's nobody else. It's got to be. Okay, Chicago played 4 games. Miami played 4 games. Yeah, Boston played 4 games. Yeah, it's other teams that play 4 games. But the last cup game is on Tuesday. Last cup game is the Lakers don't play because they already played 4 games. So you play 4 regular season cup games, and then the tournament starts the 10th. So I'm not even sure how many teams make it from each group. Maybe 2. I think it might. I'm not sure, man. I don't know how this whole thing works because yes, it's 2. I'm looking at the other conferences or the other groups with a whole bunch of other teams eliminated. Um, so I guess it's 2. So the Lakers are still in it, and they need to get some good teams to make it worth the while, so people really care about this thing. Um, like Golden State, they clinched the quarterfinals. Dallas still in it. Denver still in it. Memphis still in it. So you need some good teams to, you know, get in there. See, the Spurs, they're still in it. OKC, Phoenix. So a Group B that the Lakers are in, I don't see how they, I don't see how the Lakers will still be in it because Minnesota got eliminated at 2-1, and the Lakers are 2-2. No, Minnesota got eliminated at 2-2. So how are the Lakers still in it? I don't know. I guess I have to go back and look at the whole thing, but yeah, I guess the Spurs, OKC, and Phoenix they play Tuesday. That's going to be the last regular season Cup tournament game. So I don't see how they're still in it. How are the Lakers still in it? I don't understand because Spurs are 2-1, OKC is 2-1, and Phoenix is 2-1. I guess because yeah, okay, I see what's going on now because the Spurs lost to the Lakers. So if they lose and get to 2-2, the Lakers will get in there because they beat the Spurs both times. And well, yeah, that's the only way they can get in there. And I guess Phoenix and OKC play each other Tuesday. I just don't know how that works because the Lakers got beat by OKC. I mean, not OKC. Yeah, they got beat by OKC, but they beat Phoenix and Phoenix beat them. Maybe maybe OKC beat Phoenix. I don't know how that's gonna work in that division, man. I mean, you guys gonna have to tell me that's too much for me to. So look at this. And we were just talking about this dude, Anthony Edwards, yesterday. And this guy, they were up by 1 in the waning seconds, and all he had to do was hit a bucket to win the game. So he missed a bucket to win the game, and then the Clippers got the ball, turned it over, and I forget who drove. Somebody drove and missed from the Timberwolves, and he got the rebound and put it back up and missed again. And luckily, the ball just popped back out to one of his teammates. But yeah, this guy, he had a bad night. Even though he hit some key shots in the fourth quarter early, he just had a bad night. 21 points, zero fouls. It just seems impossible. 3 assists, 4 rebounds, chucking up threes, 4 for 9, 7 for 21 from the field. He just had a bad night, man. I just and he did the post game interview, and I'm not really expecting too much out of this guy anymore. When you listen to this guy, like I said, I did a video on him yesterday. If you want to listen to it, he's one of them studio gangsters. He's one of them Ja Morants, one of them Drakes from the middle class neighborhood that Acts like, he's tough. And that's what I tell you, these new not inner city, middle class, suburban black kids that act like they missed something because they didn't grow up in the hood or grow up poor or grow up tough. Once they get older, they want to portray this image that, like I said, that they missed something. So now they got to do it. You know, it's just crazy, man. They put on these braids and all this stuff and these cornrows and wow, it's just crazy, man. And I'm not whatever. That's your hairstyle. I'm all for it, whatever like that. But we all know where this stuff came from, man. Nobody was wearing this before gangster rap and all this stuff. And these dudes is just Ja Morants, man. Studio gangsters. That's all they is. They ain't tough. They put on this facade like LeBron James. He didn't grow up tough. He basically was taken from his mother from a what was it, middle school or elementary school coach, and he lived with him in a lower middle class home. Basically, since he was like, what was he, like 8 or something like that? I mean, these dudes are studio gangsters, man. That's all they is. And like I said, I'm just not gonna expect too much out of this guy anymore because I see the way he talks. None of these guys talk professional. They just don't have it in them, man. They 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 talk like children. You have like all your, you know, juvenile life to act this way. But and I'm not trying to say you got to act that way because you're 23, 24 years old. You got to act professional all the time. Michael Jordan probably didn't act a certain way the way he acted on the camera or on the mic or anything like that. It was just a professionalism you have to have at certain times. You might work at a place and you have to be professional in front of the customers, in front of the people that's buying your product. You have to act professional to the manager, whatever like that. There's times where you don't want to act professional. But these are the times you do. And these guys, they just sound like little kids, man. They don't sound like cussing and all this stuff, man. It's just horrible. I grew up in the gangster rap era. Let me get to you one more time. The gangster rap era to where dudes like this be crying for their mamas. All these dudes that's claiming they tough and little baby and all, like, they'd be in the house with a diaper on in the 80s and the 90s. When real gangster rap was going on, when the hood was really popping off and dudes was basically getting bagged every day. Hundreds of dudes just getting body bagged. Prisons filling up. This wasn't no Drake era, holding hands and singing. I grew up in that area. It wasn't hoods weren't getting gentrified. Certain people wasn't living in the hood. Now you go up in the hood and guess what? It's gentrified like a mug, and people living there that you would be like, whoa. You would never expect for these people to be on this side of town because they wouldn't even drive on that side of town if you gave them some money back in the day. But what I'm trying to say is these basketball players still act professional when they was behind the camera, when they was on the basketball court. They might have liked the music. They might have liked, Tupac or Ice Cube and, Dre and all this gangster rap stuff that was going on. But when the camera was on them, they didn't act like they was gangsters. They didn't act, unprofessional. They wasn't cussing up a storm. They weren't putting on a facade. Even dudes like, it wasn't Larry Johnson, didn't he have gold teeth? Or was it silver? I mean, this dude was scary looking. But he still talked professional. Even Allen Iverson. Cornrows and brought in gangster rap to the NBA. Still, for the most part, talk professional. It's just hard for me to listen to this guy talk. Even if he wins, it's hard for me to listen to this guy talk. Because to me, it sounds like he's a phony. It sounds like he done pushed himself into this image or into an image that he's not, into a person that he's not. There's no way you could take this guy and have him lead a team. I don't care about how many stats he put up. I'm talking about the way he talks and the way he acts. He acts like a little kid. And stop saying, oh yeah, he 23 years old. Man, you think when you put on that Army suit, that Navy suit, that Marine suit at 21, 22 years old, you're going to be acting like a kid? Grow up, man. Show people you want to be a leader by your actions, the way you talk, the way you move. You just can't get it from too many of these guys these days. It's just a full tilt of them acting like little babies. Grow up, dude. Be happy. You got this money, and that's the thing is these guys, these AAU guys, grow up middle class, silver spoon in their mouth, so they don't care that they're getting more money. They don't care. A person that grew up without money would just be more, more gracious, more happy about the whole thing, and want to grow up, want to be professional, want to be a leader, be thankful. No, these guys ain't thankful, man. Most of these guys grew up in middle class neighborhoods. So what they want to do now is they want to be John Morant's. They want to put on a facade. They want to act like something that they never grew up around. Man, I grew up middle class, man. This sucked, man. I miss the hood. These guys are a joke, man. No, I'm just saying this, man. I grew up poor. I was born in the projects. We didn't have food in the house. We didn't have no Christmases. This was Salvation Army and Goodwill. That's what we got for Christmas. Every single year. Eating butter sandwiches. I ain't talking about for a snack. Didn't like school. The only reason why I liked school was because it was food at school. You could eat breakfast and lunch. So in the summertime, you just didn't eat until dinner time. Because there was no food in the house with all the children in the house. All the food would be gone, just like snap of a finger, just like that. So you basically didn't even eat until dinner time in the summer. And it was okay. I mean, as a little kid, you just go out, you go play, you forget about it. But these dudes right here, man, they're incredible. Guys got millions of dollars walking around like, what was that movie called? Like somebody off of Collars. Remember that movie Collars? The gang movie. This is what this guy looking like. This is what a lot of these guys are, man. These guys are fake, man. These guys are just like put on this. This is this Drake era. All these studio gangster dudes that feel like because they're black that they got to look like this. They got to act like this. And this is why the NBA is like this, man, because you don't have grown men once they turn into grown men. Because most people like to put a diaper on these guys and make up excuses and say, man, these dudes young. So when do you turn into a man? I don't understand. I thought when you was 18. How about 21? How about when you get handed tens of millions of dollars, you don't grow up then? I don't understand. When you're handed tens of millions of dollars. Yeah, Michael Jordan grew up basically, I don't know, I guess whatever you can say, middle class, upper middle class. And he didn't act like an idiot. He didn't talk like an idiot. He didn't try to be something he wasn't. But that's these guys right here, man. And I don't even really care about the rest of his team, man. I mean, we talked about this the other day. He talked trash because the fans are booing him. you better be lucky you pulled this off against the Clippers. You better be lucky you pulled this off. Yeah, let me see something. James Harden out there breaking it up, shooting all these threes, one foul. I mean, what's under that beard? I don't know. Guys aren't playing. Ingram didn't play yesterday. Of course, Zion Williams didn't play. This whole thing, the whole season is becoming a disgrace. The Kings lost to the Trailblazers. It's like the Kings are a joke, man. They can't be consistent, man. The Knicks barely beat the Hornets. That's it. That's it. And if the Lakers, I think if they, let me see something real quick. So Tuesday is the last Cup game, and of course I said the Lakers aren't playing. The Jazz play the Thunder, and the Spurs and the Suns play. So if the Jazz beat the Spurs, no, if the Jazz beat the Thunder, which I don't see how that's possible. In the Suns beat the Spurs. No, 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 no. Yeah, and the Suns and the Spurs played. The problem is, who did the Lakers get their 2 wins off of? I thought it was they beat the Spurs and they beat the Suns. So how would the Lakers get in there? Either way. So if the Spurs won, okay, yeah. Did they beat the Spurs twice in the cup play? No, they beat the Suns and the Spurs. They're 2-2. I don't know, man. You guys have to tell me what's going on. I don't know, man. Unless they're talking, I don't know, man. I don't know how this thing goes. It's not making no sense to me. Why the Lakers are still in it? No, what I was trying to say is the Lakers, they don't play tonight. You got a whole bunch of other teams playing tonight, and it's not a cup game or a cup whatever. Yeah, it'll probably be better for the Lakers if they're not in it anyway, so they can get that rest, man. They look tired. They're not gonna make it through the season. Him and AD, why they went to the Olympics was crazy, man. They're not into winning championships. We talked about this. There's no way you should be out there playing in Olympic games and traveling. The guy don't care about his family, man. I mean, they beat up Tom Brady for this and that for playing one game a week, and they beat up on Tom Brady. But yet this guy is basically, I'm not gonna say he's never with his family, but man, this guy doesn't like sit down. It's about getting all the money you can. Like this guy don't have no money. And him and AD ain't gonna make it through the season. Maybe we give it the All-Star break, and I think LeBron's gonna sit down. He did that last year. You don't remember? He he sat down after the All-Star break last year, and that's it, man. So and he already got his money, and he's gonna Bronny James getting that All-Star game, and then that'll be it. They'll sit down until the uh next season. That's about it. They got their money. That's what this whole thing is about. It's not winning. It's not about competition no more. It's just about narratives and nonsense.